What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 58 of the Pentagon Challenge, here with Vitória in the Brazilian First Division. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are good. This episode, we are doing a review, a kind of a breakdown of what's happened so far this season. And to be honest, it's been an amazing start. Looking at the league table, as you can see here, we're second after 9 games. Cruzeiro have got games in hand, and there's a few other teams here that you'd expect to climb up the league sooner rather than later. The likes of Corinthians have struggled early on, but at the moment, second place is great. It's amazing. Obviously, only lost one of our first 9 games. Drew a few, which is so, I guess. I mean, aim really is top 5 this year. And at the moment, we're on course to achieve that. So, looking at our league form, it's been a hit and miss. However, of late, we really have turned it around. We started off the season with a 0-0 draw against Santos. It was a tough game. We turned up, and I'll take 0-0 against Santos. Unfortunately for us, we did kind of outplay them for large proportions of the game, but we just couldn't get the goal to really make a difference there. We followed it up with a game against Sao Paulo. Unfortunately for us, it was a 2-1 defeat. We were unfortunate though. Sao Paulo, a very good side. They did in truth deserve the win. However, having got that goal and kind of, given ourselves a chance at the win, it was unfortunate that we couldn't really keep the momentum going following the goal in the 52nd minute and, grind out the result, I suppose. So looking at the goals here, they got one from a set piece early on, just scraped over the line, but was bundled in. Disappointing to concede from a set piece, but, this game was a learning process. And again, Josimar there with the free kick to make it 2-0 to them just in the first half. We came out the blocks flying in the second half, and we did grab one goal. Unfortunately for us, however, it just wasn't quite enough. We hit them on the counter. Great breakdown of play by Everson, and then a break upfield. Araxa breaking through, using his pace, and a tidy finish by him, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day. So that was that result. Following on from this, we got a 1-1 draw against Corinthians at home, a result I'll certainly take considering Corinthians' supreme standings in the league. They are the best team in Brazil, and 1-1 against them isn't too bad of a result. Wellington them getting on the score sheet as well for us, which was pleasing. And in this game, we really matched them kind of man for man. Everyone turned up, everyone played their part. And, looking at the game stats, it could have gone either way, and a draw in the end was the fairest result. But no, it was a good sign of progress. I talked about last episode how the cup win against Internacional gave me hope and made me think, maybe top 5 isn't out of our reach this year, and that's what we need to get in the Champions League. And so, I guess to do how we did here against Corinthians, again, shows that progress that we were making as a team. It was really unfortunate, actually, that we did concede there. Horrible defensive mistake made, and they scored from it. But at the end of the day, despite that mistake, 1-1 was still a pleasing result. Following on from this, we got a flourish of 2-1 wins. Not going to show the highlights for all of these, but against Coritiba, a good 2-1 win. We came back from behind. It was a game that we dominated, and a game in truth that last season we probably would have struggled with. They had one shot and it went in after 4 minutes, and it put pressure on us. However, our team really woke up, and despite missing a penalty, we did go on to get 2 goals late on in the second half that ultimately got us the 3 points on the night. And it's these kind of results that when we grind out come the end of the season, we can look back upon and go, yeah, that is a result that last season we wouldn't have got, and it's a reason that we are where we are in the league now. Their goal here was a mistake by us trying to play the offside trap. Didn't work. Not everyone pushed up, and Dede, or Dudu as his name actually is, was able to break through. However, we did get back into the game. Carlisle there scoring from a header, good cross in by Fabio, and then just a few minutes later we grabbed the second goal in quick succession. A ball worked up from the back. Ramon, the athletic wing-back, getting the ball in again. Good little interchange play here. Working the ball around really nicely. Ramon, using the space out on the flanks, gets the ball in, and eventually it did find the back of the net. Fabio getting there. And that was a really pleasing goal and result, to come from behind like that. On the back of this, we got our second 2-1 win in a row. This one was against Fluminense. Again, an amazing result. We were 1-0 up early on. We slipped back and they got into the game in the 83rd minute. And then, like something out of a movie, we got a penalty given to us in the 93rd minute. And Aziz Samba stepped up to make the difference. As you can see, they got Sorry, we got our first goal from a penalty, so it was 2 penalties that settled the game. Gabriel getting the goal here. And then, I guess it was good play by them, and more, again, a defensive mistake that really cost us. You look at this and you think, oh, they're in control here, but we slipped up, it has to be said. We committed men to the attack. They stole the ball, then that big push upfield, and again the high line that we're playing just not quite working for us, and Judovan able to grab the goal. And with 83 minutes on the clock, I was thinking 1-1 wouldn't be necessarily the worst result. However, we did get a penalty and Samba stepped up to bury it to make it 2-1, which was another great result for us. We also got 2 more 2-1s in this time. This one against American was a good goal, a good game, coming back from behind again after an own goal being given, or a mistake by our keeper being given as an own goal. We came back from behind and again showing that great fighting spirit that we've showed so much this season so far. And then we followed it up with a 2-1 win against Gremio, again coming back from behind. In a game that we dominated, and perhaps that high defensive line is causing us problems at the moment and might be something that I need to look at changing. 2 more games to tell you about. The first one here, 0-0 against Vasco. It was a boring game. Nothing happened. Kind of glad I didn't live com that game because it would have been a game of no highlights, I don't think. However, we did get on the back of this, and despite not scoring the previous game, we came up against Botafogo, one of the giants of our league, one of the big teams up there, one of our teams who we're going to be competing with for that 5th place spot, and we beat them 3-0. All the goals coming in the first half. A great result by the team, a great overall team performance, and again our players turned up well. We were clinical with our chances. We dominated the game for large portions of it, which is something that, as I've said and I'll say again, last season we wouldn't have done. We didn't have enough strength in depth across the entire squad. We'd outmatch teams maybe in certain departments. However, looking at this season, the team just works as a whole. The unit is there, plenty of options to rotate around, and everyone is like chipping in with their fair share. That was the first goal there. Second goal came here, Fabio threading through Firmino, the player who came in from Everton at the start of this season for £1 million, who got on the score sheet. Good signing him, and he's already turning, back. What's the word? He's kind of he's more than repaid, and kind of shown that he warranted the fee we paid for him. And then Ancheda with the goal there to make it 3-0. So those are the stats. Looking at the league, as you've already seen, we are second. Looking at the player stats in this league, you can see here we're not really anywhere. Firmino and Fabio both there with the assists, but the goals have really largely been spread across the entire squad. And Josival does sneak into the average ratings here. Josival's been a great defensive midfielder for us and really performed well at the age of 19 when we've needed him to. So he's been a fine player for us. Looking at kind of standout performers in the league so far this season, Aziz Samba with a 7.67 average rating has to be up there. He's been superb, including the state championship. He's played well for us. You can see here 14 goals and 8 assists in 20 games from centre attacking mid is great. Looking at other goal scorers, Poison here has more than done his job. The young Argentine forward been banging in the goals for us. Averaged a 6.96 average rating. So far, only 2 goals in his last 20. That's just been largely down to us kind of rotating the squad. Other players here, Ancheda, who scored against Botafogo, the young El Salvadorian, great player. He's banging in the goals for us. He's playing superbly. His pace is really something that other teams in the league really can't deal with, and it's really shown because he scored a decent share of goals himself. And then, of course, Kenneth Barber, as you'd expect, banging in goals as well. This guy, the Nigerian forward, came in last season for a few £1 million. Probably one of the best signings I've made whilst I've been at Vitoria. He's been amazing for us. Really, I can't say enough about him. Other average ratings which are looking good. Orajo has played well when he's played. Experienced forward, there are better players than him in the league, but when he's come in as a rotation option at left back, he's more than kind of done his job. Fabio and Wellington Nem are really fighting with each other for the attacking kind of midfielder role within the squad. Both players are really good, strong forwards. They're both competing at the moment. I am edging Fabio over Nem, despite the fact that Nem is debatably the better player going forward. But to be honest, both these players experienced Brazilians, and both offer something nice to the squad in terms of playing that attacking midfielder role and really being the creative force of the team. Carlisle, another player who's played well at centre-back. I mean, in truth, our whole defence has played really solidly. Alex, Juninho, Souza, and Carlisle, you know, those four guys competing for the kind of back three spot. They're all doing their job. You can see here consistency across the board in the average ratings, which is good to see. Gabriel with 11 assists at wing-back, and Ramon also doing a job when he's played wing-back for us. The team is looking solid. It really is. At full-back, these two guys are certainly doing a job for us. Ramon going forward has been nice. Gabriel is good at the defensive elements. Looking at their kind of stats, I suppose, they're very similar. They're equally matched players. I mean, statistically, you can see them here. They both offer something to the squad. Gabriel has been fairly creative, whereas Ramon has got a slightly better average rating and slightly more goals and more tackles. But it's a trade-off. You know, both these guys have done their jobs at wing-backs in terms of offering some creative force going forward, but kind of being creative at the same time. Kind of from midfield, and Gabriel is in fact our top assist player. Samba obviously appears there, Baba, Ramon, Firmino, obviously this guy came in at the start of this season from Everton. He's been a good little player for us. He's called up upon, I think one thing that's been good about this year is the fact that kind of looking at the team as a whole, there's a few strikers here I can really turn to, and I mean, we have got a few injuries to players, but all in all, we are looking good. One transfer to tell you about, Felix Samaniego. Oh, what a name that is. Oh, sorry, it's such an amazing name, that, for the Paraguayan lad. But no, really good aerial player. Unfortunately, injured at the moment, however, he's come to the club. Yet to make an appearance because of all his injuries, but, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing him really kind of get into the first team and hopefully bang in some goals for us. Another good player who's come good, Senegal, has played in a few games in the reserves and he stood out to me. He's been promoted. He's the player who come Christmas, or come the summer rather, I want to be promoted into the first team and making him kind of a member of our squad. But all in all, the team's looking really solid. I really can't stress it more than that. We're playing well. We're looking good in terms of the league position. Hopefully we can continue it. We're still in the Brazilian Cup, which is good, and it's going to be interesting to see how kind of we do in that cup. Obviously, we got to the final last year. It'd be nice if we could keep that going. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much everything for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. Next episode will be kind of I think an autumn update. I don't know, you guys will have to stay tuned and find out, I suppose. Just one more thing that's just dawned on me before I wrap things up. The takeover collapsed, so still waiting for that takeover to hopefully come through for us. But no, it collapsed. The bid wasn't good enough, our chairman didn't think, which is a little bit disappointing. Obviously, we're overperforming in the media prediction, which was 16th, we're currently second, although teams do have games in hand. Looking at the continental competition, we are going to be in the Copa Sudamericana, so that could be an interesting one to get a run going in. But yeah, that is everything, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know where you think I'm going to finish in the league this year, given my early league form. We'll see if anyone gets the prediction right. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.